they feel about the land around them, the community around them, the sky and the sea around them, the place and the people that make up their world. And what's lovely is that there are so many of the works here tonight that speak so strongly to me. I was looking over here at Donna's work, and it really, as Minister for Historic Places Trust, it sang of our grand dreams that our ancestors had, and what we sometimes do with them, what we sometimes fail to do with them. I think those paintings both, for me, are so strongly about the heritage and the culture of the people, I assume from whom Donna sprang, but they speak to me as well. Looking over here at Ed Labadie, the guest artist's work, I mean, that is the most vivid, it looks like a storm in the Pacific or anything else that you want to understand from it. It really is extraordinary work with extraordinary technique, and what amazes me is that some of the artists here have been painting and working all their lives as artists. There are others for whom it's only something they've taken up. These paintings over here, an enthusiast, I'm sorry I've lost her name.
The ones up there?
Yes, Lara Conroy. I mean, I was just astonished to see that Lara is self-taught and started her work. When you see that the astonishing range of her work there, started because she couldn't afford art for her walls, so she decided she'd paint herself. And what I would ask all of you to do, and it's great to be an arts minister in New Zealand because New Zealanders have the highest rate of book buying in the world per capita. We also, a New Zealand house is more likely than any house in the world to have original art on the wall. So what I want you to do is to say, if this is your community, these people are part of your voice. And I want you to get out your checkbooks, get out your credit cards, but I see credit cards only over $200, but I'm sure you can negotiate with the entrepreneur here. But the strongest thing you can say to an artist is, I like your work so much I want to take it into my life. So to all of you, I hope that this year, the year of the rat, in 2008, and I have to say Leanne and my father are both rats, born on the same day indeed, and rats are indeed creative, energetic, intelligent, aspiring and adaptive people. So in this year of the rat, let us think about all of the cultures that make up Aotearoa New Zealand. I had the most astonishing opportunity to go to the Palau, to the Pacific Arts Festival in 2004 in Palau, and I travelled with Dame Te Ata Irangikahu, and as we were flying from 11 hours from Fiji over to Palau, just south of Japan, we were talking about the fact that Trevor Mallard had just, I think, offended everyone in Wainui-o-Mata by suggesting he was tangata whenua. And reading the Listener last week, I think there's a really interesting debate that's going on in New Zealand. Some people saying, well, you know, with Maori asserting and Pacifica people asserting their culture, this is denigrating European culture. Well, I have to say, as the granddaughter of migrant Scots and the great-great-great-granddaughter of people who came to New Zealand in 1832 in the first instance, I don't feel that my European heritage is being denigrated in any way. And when you look at the great European traditions of painting, adapted for the great, astonishing New Zealand light, but using the traditions from across the Pacific and across Europe in this work, I think what we are seeing is a truly unique range of ideas about how we as New Zealanders can be more human, more connected, and more creative. So I hope that in this year, when you think of the number of people who come to New Zealand from Asia, that we take all of those opportunities of all of those new people and the new cultures, wonderful people who have come to New Zealand with a dream of being more themselves as artists, as people, able to express themselves, able to reject some of the class and cultural pressures of other countries, but what we have to do is take things up. So I challenge every one of you this year to come to a seminar here, or to go to a night class, or go and talk to an artist you admire and try it yourself. Take up a paintbrush, take up pencils, perhaps take up a musical instrument. Do something that makes you bigger than you are. I spent a very sad day earlier this week with an old friend whose husband had died, and she is a survivor of Auschwitz and has had many griefs in her life. And one of the great gifts that this woman has given to me, and she repeated it on Monday, she said, when a great grief comes into your life, or a great happiness, it can take over the whole of your life. The only way you can make the grief smaller is by making your life bigger. So let's think about all of the things our ancestors did. Our foremothers who made clothes, who made homes, our forefathers who farmed and built and created in all sorts of ways. Go back and find something that will give you pleasure, but also will connect you up with your family, with your heritage, because what Dame Te Ata Irangikahu said when I said to her, so okay, how do Pākehā become tangata whenua here in New Zealand? And she looked at me astonished and said, same way Māori do. You teach your children their whakapapa, all of the stories, all of the crafts, all of the ideas, all of the beliefs that have brought you and your ancestors here to this place today. Tell them the names of the giants on whose shoulders we all stand, and then build a turanga waiwai, build a community, build a place where you literally connect your family with the earth, the sea and the sky. But she said, remember there's the other side of turanga waiwai. It's a place where you have the right to stand and speak. So I wish you all great voices. I think this place is an important catalyst for this community. I know that the council takes their responsibility very seriously. I am seeing communities all around New Zealand transporting themselves and I've lost the word. Transforming themselves. Stone cold sober and I still lose words, damn. Transforming themselves by being more themselves, by taking risks, by telling stories. I remember talking to Eve Poole about 15 years ago, and there was a joke in Southland at that time that the last person out should turn the light out. And she said, it's almost true, we're losing population. And I said, well, why are you here? And she told me the most wonderful story about her family and her husband's family going to Southland to make a life that was about the smelter and about fishing, but also about having a great family and a great personal life. They were skiers, they were trampers, they loved fishing. And I said, well, why would anyone want to live anywhere but here? And having just spoken to the lady and gentleman who sold you this place, John, they're saying, why did we leave?
I was thinking for years.
So thank goodness that you are here. Thank you for this astonishing community that you are building here. Thank you to all of the artists who have taken a risk, because it is a huge risk. You're putting your heart and your head and your guts out there on the wall for us all to see. But let me tell you that already there are a number of paintings here that have changed the way I see either a place or an idea. That's the point of art, that wonderful moment when you go, oh, I get it. When something that you've been looking at for years suddenly makes a different sense. That's the point of art. It is about how we say who we are. It is about how we create the place where every one of us, adults and children, have the right to stand and speak. So congratulations to the West Melton, the 4th annual West Melton Art Exhibition. John, to you, your family and to your workers, congratulations on the Nut Point Gallery. It's just as astonishing as Leanne told me, and I'm very pleased to be here tonight to congratulate you all and to open this exhibition. Thank you.